Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. What have you been up to lately?
Um, what have I been up to? I don't even know half the time. I'm just trying to figure out life as I go, but I just working on my YouTube videos
hmm
and also some personal projects as well. I had started a game, but I put it on pause to work on another project that can hopefully get me some money to then work on the game.
Right. I know it's hard to find the balance of what you want to do and what you can do to keep yourself going financially.
Yeah, but it's been going good so far. Things been working out.
That's
So
good.
yeah,
You do your game development and game development like content creation full time, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I quit my job 3 years ago.
3 years
I think.
ago. Was that hard to do? Did you plan it for a
No,
long time? No.
no. I just as it was nearing the end of it was like a residency program, a 1 year thing.
hmm
I was like, there's no way I'm gonna do this until I'm old.
Right. What were
And
you doing?
I was a software engineer, uh,
Okay.
but it was like a rotation base, so I couldn't get into the company like as a full time software engineer because it's really hard.
hmm
So I got into the residency
Okay.
and they like trained me and then like two rotations on two different teams. And it was great, but I'm not a 9 to 5 gal.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear you're making it work doing something you enjoy.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Thank you.
What do you spend most of your time doing? Like more
What
game
do I say?
development or like more video creation?
Um I spend most of my time working on the projects. Yeah, more
Okay.
than the videos, to be
Okay.
honest. Before it was the videos, but I recently like kind of shifted over to the projects more.
Cool.
I don't know if I just got burned out from doing so many tutorials,
Yeah.
but I mean, streaming must be even harder every day for 8 hours.
It's definitely a demanding thing, but I think it's just a matter of like finding the right balance of doing
Yeah,
it when you want to and never when you feel like you need to. You know what I mean?
yeah, I struggle with that though.
Do you?
I feel like I need to do some stuff at point.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, well, I need to do this to make progress, right? But then, you know, maybe I don't feel like. It.
Yeah, I think it's harder with YouTube videos because like you have to put in an amount of work before there's any reward. So it takes some amount of like motivating yourself and going in and doing it before you actually post it. And then you're like, oh, there's comments and it's interesting and you feel like you did a good job.
Yeah, YouTube is another ballpark. I've
Yeah.
been doing it since I was like 10 years old, and
Really?
yeah, and I didn't really see any success for a decade.
Wow. What kind of videos were you doing at that age?
Cringy gameplay videos.
Okay, so you did gameplay before. Now you when did you
Yeah,
switch
I
to
was a
game
child
development?
when I actually learned how to code.
Okay.
Yeah. I after college, it was COVID time, and I was bored, and I had nothing to do before the job started. So I was like, oh, let's just make another YouTube channel and just try it out and see how it goes.
hmm
And well, it's gone pretty well. So
Yeah, you're doing great. Like your tutorials are really well done.
thank you, thank you. I
Do
tried my
you,
best.
how long does it take you to make one of those videos?
It depends on the kind of video. So it's if it's like me just talking over, without any like fancy animations, then it shouldn't take longer than a week. If it's like a simple tutorial, maybe I can get it done in 1 or 2 days even.
hmm
But if I add like all these fancy images and whatnot, that kind of extends it on to like a week or more.
Right. Do you find that the extra work gives, like has a result that's worth that extra effort?
YouTube is weird. Videos that I put a lot of work into sometimes don't do as well as the videos I put less work into.
Yeah.
So like videos that I'm like whatever, then get like 4 times as much views as my last three videos that
Wow.
I put more work into.
Right.
So, but the audience, likes to be taught well. like I don't want to teach them in a bad way, if that makes sense. Like
No, of course.
I don't want to.
Do you do a lot, like, okay, if there's a topic that you're teaching and you're teaching it, you're making that video because there's not a lot of information on it, how do you research how to do something and learn how to do it, and like where do you get your information from?
Chat GPT. I'm just kidding. Well, before Chat GPT, the documentation
Uh-huh.
and maybe one other tutorial that exists. Sorry for the air conditioning noise
Fine.
that's coming. Maybe there's like one person that did a semi-related video, and I'm like, oh, score. And no, I just really banged my head against the desk for a couple days until
Yeah.
I figured it out. That's
Yeah.
why I did the input system stuff.
Yeah, the input system stuff is like a really important one. It's a lot of people need to figure that out, and without a tutorial, it can be a real
Yeah,
challenge.
I mean, input. Everyone needs input, and
They
there was
do.
no videos on it, so I was like, well, I might as well.
Perfect. Is that how you decide? You're like, I don't see any tutorials on this topic and it's useful, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah, back then when I started the channel, I would like to get my initial audience because it's hard to like start off from zero.
Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
need to like be really centered on like a niche. And for tutorials, I was like, let's focus on search based. So like if someone searches on Google, my video would be the first one to come up. And
Yeah.
that has its pros and cons, but
I mean, I've seen that. I've searched for things. I'm like, it's Sam's video. Nice. So you figured that out. That's awesome. And now
yeah.
how do you decide what to make videos on now?
Now, I honestly, if a sponsor comes, he's like, here's the money. I'm like, well, maybe I'll do a video on that.
Cool.
Like Unity, for example, if they have a sale, I'm like, oh, I'll do a video on that. And it also helps out the audience. Like it's a win-win for both of us. Maybe it's a tutorial, but mostly recently have been sponsored videos. Yeah.
That's cool. Have there been some interesting sponsors that you're like, you take them on and you do the tutorial and you're like, oh, this is actually really a really cool product or something that I'm really excited about?
Well, Unity has honestly been my most recent ones. There's one sponsor that I'm doing next that actually has a really cool product, but I don't want to say. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. That's cool. That's good. Yeah, I like working with sponsors where you are enjoying the product, you're sharing with people who will also enjoy it. It's like everybody's happy. It's a great setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you get money.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
That's cool. You mentioned burnout. I'd love to ask you about it. So,
Sure.
um, is that something that you've been dealing with for a while, or is that something that you are kind of is just a sort of a little thing, or is it something that's really kind of hindering you right now?
It's on and off.
Yeah.
But I'm, if I notice it, I try to like refocus my efforts. The issue is not an issue per se, but I have a lot of different ideas and then I want to do all of them at the same time. And then I get frustrated when I'm not working on another one.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I've been trying to pace myself more, but before I would just like be on like full, like try to get stuff done all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would get sick constantly. So like, what year is it? 2023. Last year I was sick every month. I kept getting sick because I was also traveling almost every month. But
Wow.
that combined with like traveling and then working, not giving myself like a chance to rest, it's not great. Don't do that.
No. What were you traveling for?
So I just travel for fun, or I would go to like conferences.
Okay.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. I can imagine traveling and being sick every month and then doing all the things that you do as well.
Yeah, that's why I burnt out.
So, I guess that you kind of said, you're getting burnt out when you're getting sick all the time, which is a very obvious sign of burnout, I think.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're like, that you see before you get sick, or that you're like, oh crap, I better I better chill with this before I get too burnt out or start getting sick again?
Yeah, if I start getting like constant headaches
Okay.
over time, or like my body just feels slower than usual,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's take a break.
Yeah.
Um it's like try not to, I don't want to say feel guilty for taking a break, but sometimes when I take too long of a break, I'm like, damn, I should be working on my stuff.
Right.
I don't know, but then at the same time, I'm like, what's wrong with taking a break? Like
Mm.
you know, life. I just want to relax sometimes.
Yeah. It's hard to balance when you're choosing your own schedule because
Yeah, you would know.
yeah, I'm sure we both have that desire to do things like you said, and there's so many projects that can be done that when you take a break, it feels like you're taking longer to get to them. But you're right; it is important to be able to take a break, and it's important
Yeah,
to not feel guilty when you take a break too, or you don't really get that time off. You just don't enjoy it the same way.
yeah. That's why I think it's important to like. I try to do something that like takes my mind off it completely. So
Mm.
like anime, or like I just go outside the house. Can't, no computer near me.
Yeah, I think taking a break from digital stuff is a big way to fully disconnect.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that,
Yeah.
fortunately.
So anime, leaving the house. Is there any other things that you do to like take a full break, proper break?
No. I mean, is there anything else? I mean, I guess I work out sometimes. That's not really a break though.
I think it's maybe not like a break, but I think it is a good way.
Mental
It is a
break.
break from work. Like you're not using your eyes on a computer. You're not sitting in
Yeah.
the same spot. It's probably good for your body to go and like move around a bit. I like doing that as well. I never was really into working out. Well, like going to a gym, for example. But lately, I'm like, this feels like a nice, like opposite of what I'm always doing. So I feel like it's a healthy thing to do once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, for exercise, you don't like need to go to a gym. It is kind of like a interesting atmosphere at a gym. Like sometimes, you can just like go out, normally take a run, or like even today I followed like a YouTube video.
Hmm.
Those are intense.
That's a good way to do it as well, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm glad that you found some ways to counteract getting burnout.
Or I just take a trip if I'm that burnt out. I'm like, let's go somewhere.
That's cool. How do you decide where to go on a trip?
Sometimes it's random. Like last year, I was just like, let's go somewhere in South America to my friend.
Cool. Where'd you go?
Oh, we went to Peru.
How was
We just
that?
picked a random place.
Whoa.
Right, it was amazing. I mean, there was a couple unfortunate things, like a stomach ache, and then I went to the hospital there. But I hiked the Machu Picchu Inca Trail for 4 days. Which was
Amazing.
so cool. Highly recommend to anyone.
Yeah.
Very nice experience.
What was the highlight of that?
Just because it sounds cheesy, but it
I like cheesy.
was is not the destination, which was Machu Picchu. So you hike 4 days across huge mountains, up and down to get to Machu Picchu.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually the journey that I was the most impressed
The
with.
friends we made along the way.
By the time I got to Machu Picchu, I was so tired that I did not care at all. I was
Yeah.
like, this is pretty, but I almost fainted in the middle of the
Wow.
trip. It was
Yeah, I
it was
heard it's intense to do that trip. Really intense.
yeah, because of the air, you're so high up,
Mhm.
like 17,000 feet or something. So you get really lightheaded. And you need to be like chewing cocoa leaves
Oh,
to
interesting.
combat.
That's cool.
Funny. Um,
Did you get any inspiration for that you want to take into your games?
wow. No, I haven't thought of my trip for my games. No, that's interesting.
Hmm.
No, I
Maybe
just
that's a good thing. Maybe it's such a break from what you usually do that you can just separate them. That maybe that's not a bad thing.
yeah. Mm. Yeah. I mean, usually like I would like to make games that like are kind of open world and exploration type. So I
Hmm.
guess they lend to each other
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe it's like subconsciously impacted me somehow.
I'm sure it has.
I'm not sure.
Speaking of, what kind of games? You said you had one you're working on, but you're working another one right now. Are you open to talking about them a little bit?
The other one is actually not a game.
Okay.
It's an app, and
Oh.
it's a secret.
Oh, I'm excited to hear about it when you're ready to talk about it. And
Yeah.
the game?
The game, I'm not gonna like disclose in depth, but it is like a movement based game. So I'm big fans of like Speedrunner.
Hmm.
If you've ever played that, it's like a 2D speed running game. Movement based games, like what's that ghost one? Tokyo Wire. I'm not sure. The
Okay.
one where he's holding a sword and he goes super fast and platforming. I really
Uh,
like this kind of platforming, fast paced, skill based games. But I also want like a story with it. So basically, I'm trying to do like unique movement mechanics, like
mhm.
embedded into a story with like inspiration from Shadow of Colossus.
Cool.
Um, but it's so hard. I like overscoped so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm like, well, let's work on this thing first to get, fun, hopefully some money out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't, if I'm working on a game, I want to work on something that's meaningful to me. I don't just want to pump out something quick and dirty to make a quick buck. Um,
Right. Yeah.
I don't spend like 3 months working on something that I don't care.
No, I feel the
Or
same
rather,
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
You've been working on yours a long time, right? Like,
Yeah. It's been 3 years now.
how much longer you think?
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say because I'm not sure what kind of challenges I'll come up against and how long they'll take to fix. That's the biggest thing that makes it difficult to estimate the time.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, usually you don't see all the challenges up front. It's more
Right.
like when you're in the weeds, you're like, oh shoot.
Hopefully not too much longer though. Kind of like your trip to Machu Picchu. I'm enjoying the journey, so
That's
it's not like
good.
it's a painful process. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, you're also interacting with people on
Yeah,
the way, so it's not like alone this whole time.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah. Okay, you speaking of apps, you put out a AI texture making app.
yeah, it was more a library for people to
Okay.
share their generated textures online. So, like, if someone didn't have the resources to run it on their computer
Mm-hmm.
or didn't feel like coming up with the prompt
Mm-hmm.
on how to like come up with this texture,
Mm-hmm.
then you can just like easily browse through it on my site. But it's very basic. There's like no generation. It's mostly like an image sharing website.
Okay, it's still a cool concept. It's nice to have access to textures because they can be a real pain to
Yeah.
make or find.
Yeah. I mean there's other websites now doing the same thing.
Well,
Beat me to
that's
the punch.
yeah. That's okay. That's cool you did
Yeah.
it. The game you're working on, have you been on it for a while?
No. Well, since I started it, I was like 2 months by now.
Okay.
But I actually done like probably 3 weeks of work on it
Okay.
mostly. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm just like testing out mechanics, but I did put that on hold for the
Right.
app idea,
And how long have you been on this app idea for?
like a week or two, 2 weeks.
Okay. Will it be a long-term project or something shorter?
I mean, I'm hoping like a few months, 2 months maybe,
Yeah.
but I was thinking even shorter. But then, as you know, I started digging into it, and I'm like, oh wow, this is more complicated. Like all
It
the edge
always
cases you
is.
have to account for.
Yeah. It
Like
always is harder than you expect at the beginning, isn't it?
yeah, and just things you didn't like take into account.
Hmm.
But like for Pixela, for example, I did it in a month,
Hmm.
And that one I had actually used someone's existing template online to help me build the UI, and then I
Mhm.
just like kind of built on it. But the problem with that one was that I didn't plan ahead, and so I just put the code in as I went, and I didn't think too much of it. And so like now, for example, I was trying to add something else to it, and it was horrible. The code is spaghetti. Like it's all a mess. I didn't plan ahead.
Yeah.
But for this one, I'm being smarter and I'm like planning it ahead and designing it. And
Mhm.
then it is actually much simpler when you plan ahead. Who knew?
Who knew? Yeah. Turns out. Yeah, no, I think that's part of growing as a developer as well, is getting better at organizing the code. Like once you
Yeah.
figure out how to do it, the next step is to get it nice and organized, and then it happens faster, you can update it faster, more people can work on it without struggling.
Yeah. And not even only the code, but the UI itself. Like, how
Mm.
should things look? And this is with games too, as well. Like, how should things interact with each other in a seamless way where it's not too cluttered and it's easy to know what to do?
Mhm.
It's kind of hard because I'm not like a UX designer by profession or anything.
Mhm. My background's actually in UX.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
but I didn't do games. I did like for the last while like banking apps, banking websites,
Oh,
banking.
wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. Actually, it was kind of fun. It was like a fun challenge that wasn't too big. Like it's
Okay.
a big, they're big platforms. There's a lot to do with banking, but
Yeah.
it was kind of fun to like figure out how to organize it and then like learn how people interact with digital interfaces, whether it's their phone or even an
Hmm.
ATM or things like that. But
That's pretty
like
cool.
doing UX for software and banking platforms and that kind of thing is so different than doing UX for games. There's just so much like is goes on in a game.
I
So
mean,
I
we're adding a third dimension
yeah,
here.
yeah. Not to mention all of the different systems and mechanics that you do and like dialogue, cutscenes, pausing, saving, different menus, different
Yeah.
states.
It's an entirely different field, but I'm sure like your expertise carries over
It does a
onto
little bit. I'm doing like a user experience overhaul with the game soon, and I've been like,
Oh,
because
cool.
yeah, I
I'm
added
excited.
one thing I didn't even like. You don't think about these things till you're kind of doing them. Is once you
Yeah.
add controller support, not only do you have
Mm.
to make it function with the controller, but you also have to change all of the UI to work with the controller, and then it has
Yep.
to like switch between if you're gonna switch between keyboard and mouse, like, and then a controller you have to say press X rather than press any button. So
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into that, and it's gonna be a bit of an undertaking.
Are
But
you using the new info system?
I had to switch over to it. Yeah,
Okay,
it wasn't fun, but
good. Your life's gonna be a little easier at least.
yeah, it was a bit of a switch. But I'm glad went through that. It should be easier now.
Yeah, it should be simpler with the input system. I think yeah, you can easily swap out the press X or press E depending on what's the active controller.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, I have some tutorials on it if you want me to send.
I know. I saw them. Yeah, I watched them. They're great.
Okay, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. You must be a pro with the input system by now.
I actually forgot most of it, which is so
Really?
fun. People ask me all the time, "How do I fix this?" And I'm like, I don't even answer YouTube comments because I just forgot. It's like 2 years already,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
I'm like,
it is something that you're going to use in pretty much every game. So at least it's something that you're going to need.
yeah. But I mean, like the complex, like the in depth tutorials.
Hmm.
Like people are asking me, I'm like, I forgot because the inputs there's so much to it.
That's something that I always was curious about because I don't really do many tutorials, but the is that like a challenge where it's obviously already enough work to make the tutorial and put it out there, but do you find that there's a lot of follow up because everybody has questions and they're expecting
Oh
you
yeah,
to answer them?
yeah. People are very question based, honestly.
Yeah.
Or, well, some people, a small subset of people are even uh, I don't know what the word is, but they basically expect you to answer their questions in return for their time watching your video.
Hmm.
Um, so I had actually like starting the channel for the first year or two.
Hmm.
I responded to all comments
Wow.
Well, all the normal ones, not the weird ones.
Yeah.
And then up to a time where it started taking me like 2 hours a day, and I was like, "There's no way." And I got so burnt out from responding to people that I just completely stopped responding to everyone.
Mm,
um,
that's tough.
but now I have mods on like my Discord and whatnot, and people help each other out there. So I think I set up like a good foundation,
That's great.
like a helping foundation, and then it just took off from there. Hands off.
Perfect. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, having people help each other is a big load off your shoulders, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, when someone's asking you a super specific question for their use case, you got to spend like at least 5 to 10 minutes, maybe looking at the documentation and kind of thinking how you would solve it.
Yeah.
And that's not my job.
No, it's not.
Like, if you want me to consult, like, pay me a consulting fee.
I mean, maybe that's the answer is when people like demand, I want you to solve my problem for me. I'm like, sure, for a fee. Sure thing.
Well, now I just say we don't do that here.
Yeah, I'm glad you found a solution because I can imagine that being really overwhelming. Have you started responding to comments again now that you kind of have a system in place for that?
Only if they're like positive comments,
Yeah.
like good job. Like thanks. Or if they're like super simple ones that I know off the top of my head. Like if they require me to like dig in searching, I'm like no, because I can't like afford to divert my attention to other people.
Absolutely.
Like I have to get my stuff done.
Yeah.
Um, but then there's these comments. They're like, "Super great job! I love the tutorial." These are, and when I click it, they're like, "But I'm having a problem." I'm like, "No." So like, not that I can't, but like won't respond to it, even though they say thank you, because then I'll have to like follow up with it.
Mm. I mean, pointing them in the direction of your Discord might be a solution.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way they,
Well,
they can find help that way, and
next
then
time.
yeah, they'll figure it out.
Maybe if I
Maybe.
feel like.
Have you ever thought about doing like courses for a platform rather than tutorials on YouTube?
Yeah, I thought about it. I guess every time that I've been wanting to do that, I've just found other stuff that I have more priority
Mm,
over.
yeah.
Or like a YouTube idea comes up that I'm like, damn, that'd get a lot of views. And then it doesn't. But,
Oh.
at least we try.
You seem to be doing pretty good. I'm sure you're getting at least a few good
Thanks.
hits there.
But yeah, but that's a huge, courses are huge time commitment. And it's more like the follow up for
Yeah.
courses. With courses, you're kind of expected to be like a TA.
Right.
After the course. So.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing.
I can't deal with people right now.
Right.
Which is ironic, but whatever.
You stream on YouTube as well, don't you?
Sometimes, not much. When I do these collabs with other YouTubers like Polymars recently.
Uh-huh.
And Blackthorn Prod. I know you're in a bunch of their challenges too.
Yeah.
What do you think of their challenges? Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you think of them?
Oh, they're really fun. Yeah, it's hard. Like even when I'm busy, I'm like, oh, I don't want to say no because I really enjoy them, and it's like,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's kind of stressful, but it's like a fun stressful, like a game jam.
Yeah. No, I like them too. I did two with them, I think.
Uh-huh.
But I the recent one I had to say no because too many hate comments. I was wondering if you have experience with that there, or is this just me? Have you noticed any?
I don't even remember. I just the hate comments go in and out.
Yeah, that's okay. I was just wondering if it was because I'm a woman, because they kept pointing it out in the comments.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe I'll ask you and see if you have that experience on those kind of videos.
I definitely have. I definitely get some hate for being a woman in game development. It's
weird.
I know it seems like we should be past that by now, but
yeah,
it comes out. But that just honestly, it just kind of makes me want to do it more.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but it is a little discouraging.
It is definitely discouraging. Like, and that's the thing that bugs me because I'm like, I've been hearing this long enough that like it doesn't phase me, but
Yeah,
I know that it can really discourage other people who are just starting off and they haven't been on Twitch for 7 years and developed a thick skin and know what to say.
yeah.
That can be really off-putting. So I'm like, no, fuck you. In fact, I'm gonna do it harder. I'm gonna do more of it. And I'm gonna show people that like that shitty comment isn't gonna discourage me from doing it or like stop
Yeah,
people because then I feel like then they win. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Maybe I'm just
I don't
very
know.
combative.
I don't know. It's more like I guess I'm just protecting my mental state.
Yes, no, that's important
Like
to do as well.
I don't want to have to deal with it because it's like 95% of the comments.
Oh, I'm sorry
I,
you've dealt with that. That's shouldn't
no,
have to deal with any kind of thing like that.
it's it's okay. It's just weird. A weird thing. I don't know. I wouldn't think of it as like giving up, but like I rather like focus on videos with my audience that don't say these things
No, that is absolutely fair.
rather than like these 10-year-olds
Absolutely fair.
that I know it doesn't really matter, but
Yeah.
like, even if you know that, seeing it repeatedly is kind of like off-putting.
Yeah, no, it's almost impossible to completely not let it bother you. It will bother you
Yeah.
if you keep getting these shitty comments all the time. I know one thing that's helped with me is like when I first started streaming, I'd get these comments a lot, and then
Yeah.
I would just ban the person and pretend it didn't happen and not try to draw attention to it. But
Mhm.
I felt that then it would sit with me for like the whole day, and it just really kind of got under my skin.
Mm.
And one thing I found that helps is when I respond to it and tell them it's not okay and get that off my chest, even if it's not nice, even if it's disruptive to the stream. I feel like I can't keep internalizing it and pretending it's not happening. I have to tell
Mhm.
people like, you are not allowed, you can't do that. It's not good. What's your problem? Go
Yeah.
go I don't know, get a hobby or do something better with your time. Like,
Stop spending all of your life giving me attention.
yeah. Or that, or it's like, thanks for the attention, bad publicity, whatever.
Do you ever find like pushback when you say that from them?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you're talking to a wall.
Do you not get any stuff like that outside of those types of things? Your channel's mostly okay?
Yeah, my channel's not really like that. Maybe like one comment in a blue moon.
Okay.
Like
I'm glad
I'm
to
like,
hear.
okay, out of pocket. It's more like on those videos where the audience is, well, I'm supposing the audience is lesser age and not really developers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where they're like, oh, she sucks. Like they don't really understand the work that goes into it, and they're just saying random stuff. Like I don't know, like kid stuff.
Yeah, that's
Can be mean.
it's stupid. I guess it's easier to like brush that off if it's just like a stupid one-off comment.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear your channel's not full of that, or much less of it. Do you do like shorts or other social media or other types of content creation outside of YouTube and the odd live stream?
Mm, I have some TikTok videos,
Mm-hmm.
but like barely. Just like back in the day, I was like, how to make a game part 1. for like 10 parts.
Oh wow.
It was very silly. And then um Twitter is like my main. I've been trying to grow my Twitter recently. Just
Mm-hmm.
farm the followers.
Farm them
As
followers.
they say.
What have you been posting on Twitter to grow it?
Just random stuff.
I've seen it. I don't know
It's
why I'm
so
saying. I've seen some
easy.
of it. No, it's good actually. I've been liking some of the comments you post, like whether it's just good reminders or
Yeah.
encouragement. Like it's actually really nice to see those in the feed. It's sometimes refreshing from the things you'd find on Twitter instead.
Yeah. Some of it's directed to myself too.
What's that?
Some of it's like directed to me as well. Like I post it to like encourage me
That's
as
a good
well.
way to look at it.
So like maybe I post something it has maybe probably is doing with how I'm feeling in the moment.
Yeah.
Or if I don't have anything to say, I just post a meme, which gets like an absorbent more amount of views than actual content. That's why it's so easy.
Right. No, that's good. That's smart.
Yeah, I mean, if if you know, if there's a way to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah. You seem very resourceful.
Thanks.
So you've got a few things coming up. You've got the secret app. You've got
Yeah.
the game after that. What about for your YouTube? What's coming up on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, no, I love YouTube. So my Polymars collab that I did with him, that's my next video, like a little recap of the stream. And then I have the sponsored video, and then I have another sponsored video.
Nice. Glad to hear it.
So mostly sponsored videos right now. I do have like a cool idea centered around AI.
Mm.
But yeah, I just need time to work on it.
That sounds good. What's the collab with Polymars?
Oh, he challenged me to make a horror game in 1 hour using only AI.
What?
It was so hectic.
Oh my god, 1 hour?
I was so stressed. In the stream, I'm literally like, like, ChatGPT, could you go faster? And then at the end, he was like, give me 5 more minutes. And then 30 minutes passed. I was like, these are a long 5 minutes.
Wow, 1 hour. I actually tried making a game in 1 hour without AI, which is probably easier because AI you have to wait for it and you got to like make sure it's right.
Yeah.
And that was I got basically movement. Not a lot. Not a lot happened in an hour. I don't know. Did you finish a game?
Yeah. And I
What?
won the challenge. People voted
Ooh.
for me.
How did you decide who won?
The audience voted.
Okay, nice.
Oh, it's so funny. We had the same exact game, but mine actually worked.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it live? Can you play the game?
Um.
Well, I guess I'll see it in the video, even if you don't have it live.
Yeah, we don't have the game link anywhere, but if you want, I can send you the Unity file somewhere. I have to find it. It's super simple. It's like a maze, and then I put my Pixela textures on the walls.
Okay.
The AI site I made.
Okay.
So all the textures were AI generated. The code was AI generated. Then the enemy would find you with nav mesh. My apologies. And the code was ChatGPT. Did I say that already? Maybe. And then the model itself was AI generated from a site called Luma AI, where now it's like text to 3D models.
How is that?
It's fun. Luma AI, I think it's called model. It's I just used from their existing library of 3D models because they don't have it open yet. They just have like samples there. So I just like searched monster up and I grabbed it and I put it in there and I put a Mixamo animation in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks really creepy.
Nice. I'm so curious to see how that platform works and like see how if it's as good as we all wish it would be, as all of us game devs.
Yeah, I sent you the link.
Cool.
I mean, this was a few months ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Time is weird. I
I'm
don't
looking at
remember
it
if it
now.
was 3 months ago now.
The models seem pretty good. They're even textured.
Yeah, I mean, these is pretty top quality. Now I'm sure there's even like better ones. With the speed that these things are going. But yeah, I just ripped the one off from this site and I just Mixamo auto rigged it with
Yeah.
their AI. So much
Right.
AI everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I know AI is taking over. Soon there'll be a make game button and we'll all be screwed.
Adapt or die, as the
That's
memes are.
Yep.
The Twitter posts, adapt or die.
Yeah.
They're so intense about it. God, those Twitter people are. ChatGPT, the new update is the best thing ever to happen to AI. Read this so you don't get left behind.
Oh, yeah.
What could possibly be better than the thing you said yesterday?
Yeah. Maybe I'll ask ChatGPT how to survive as a game dev once AI starts making games for us.
I mean, I think it's gonna be pretty hard for an AI to like encompass all the moving pieces. At least a human will need to like come in and put stuff together somehow.
I know, I keep saying that, but then I feel like everyone is saying that about their own discipline. But I wonder because I think like we're seeing tools for different parts of the game being done.
Hmm.
So like whether it's generating an 3D art or it's doing the animation with AI or it's doing the story writing with AI or it's doing the code with AI, like once there's all of the pieces, all it
Hmm.
takes is like another piece to put it all together.
Yeah.
I know it's easier said than done, but I feel like
uh,
it's not. It might not. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I guess what my
I mean,
conclusion
I
is.
don't doubt that there's gonna be it in the future, but probably not like in the very near term.
Yeah. No, I
Like
agree.
we're okay.
Yeah.
But either way, as these new technologies develop, there's gonna be new jobs. So like for example, the prompts itself, like that's now a new job, prompt engineer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like new app ideas, for example, that people are making. Like I saw this app where it's like you make photo shoots. You don't have to take your photo anymore. You just feed it in a photo and it spits out photos for your resume. And I was like, that's brilliant. And
Wow.
like new ideas develop as new technologies come to play. So I don't think there's ever gonna be like a lack of stuff to do for
Yeah.
like people like us, like creative
No,
tech people.
that's the thing. We are in tech at least, and as game developers, we do wear a lot of hats. And as game developer content creators, we wear even more hats. So I'm sure we'll figure something out, regardless of what happens with AI.
Yeah, well, soon we'll be replaced by like these AI that deep fakes us and like copies our voices.
Maybe I'll just start doing that instead of working
ChatGPT.
anymore. Like, why am I making
Yeah,
videos?
I
Because
was
AI.
thinking the same. I was like the people now. Do you know those videos that are like make $100 on YouTube per day with a faceless YouTube automated channel? Have you seen those videos?
I haven't, no.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm like recommended it all the time. They're
Weird.
like, make a YouTube channel completely automated. Basically, you automate it with ChatGPT, and then there's a new software that makes the video for you, and then you monetize it, and then people are making quite a bit of money. The people advertising it, like the gurus,
Hmm.
saying that this is a thing. And yeah, so now there's a ton of AI channels out there that like are all like automated with AI.
Like
And
content creation is
yeah,
being.
everything
What kind of
is AI.
topics do these AI things cover?
Anything. I mean, ChatGPT can come up with anything, but a lot of them are like helpful things or like finance related things. I think more concrete things that they can explain,
Hmm.
like less creative, I guess. But like now there's something that can even like animate the text for you to come in and like do a little animation. I think it was in Python. And I think you can ask ChatGPT to do it for you too. Like it like writes it for you.
Really?
Yeah, there's this one guy I know, YouTube guy. It's called his name is Siraj,
Okay.
and he does like these kind of videos. Um, and I was like watching his video. He's crazy. Like if you see his video, he does the weirdest applications in like an hour or two. Like program a Tesla bot, a Tesla car to like do crypto. No, Tesla self driving simulator. Like it's like a genius.
Let me read some of these. I built a hedge fund run by AI agents. I built a sports betting bot with OddJam and ChatGPT. I built an anime video generator. Um,
Look, I
yeah.
built a secret AI YouTube channel. If if you click that one, like now the faces are even like animated with the voices. So like it's like a real person talking. Obviously you can tell it's not real, but like
Mhm.
you put in a photo and then it like detects the blend shapes and then it moves it with the audio.
Hmm.
And they're like, you can make a ton of money doing this.
I
Feels a
wonder
little lifeless to me, but you know.
Yeah, I wonder if people will care if the video has a real person or not once these things get pretty good. Or people will be
I mean,
like,
can we
I'd
tell?
rather watch like an actual person talking.
Are we
But
going to
maybe
be
not.
able to tell though?
Well, I've actually come across some like tutorials on YouTube, and the voice is text to speech, which is not
Yeah.
AI. But at first I'm like, oh, that's weird. It's a text to speech voice. But I'm like, you know what? I can understand it. If somebody has, if English isn't their first language and they're struggling to pronounce words and stuff, like maybe that's better for them to do it that way than
Yeah.
struggle with the pronunciation. So it's like, I don't know, maybe people will be like, oh, I don't mind the chatbot version of a person. Like, it seems weird, but I'm curious if people will actually want real people or if they don't mind the AI stuff.
I mean, um those videos are usually giving something informative. So like the person watching is like, well, I need to fix this problem. So,
Right.
they're going to watch it regardless. If it helps them in the long run. Maybe for like something emotional, like a vlog, it's going to be really hard for that selling point. But
Mm,
nowadays, like there's AI companies that do these voices that are scarily realistic.
yeah.
And now they can even pause, they can laugh, they can sigh.
If they put in like fake like and ahs.
Yes. It's actually kind of scary.
It is.
And you can clone your voice too. Like,
Yeah.
well,
Have you
people have
tried
been
any of that kind
cloning
of thing?
voice, like Grimes. Like Grimes was like, you guys can clone my voice to like make a song out of. Have you heard of that news?
I have, and she wants like royalties for it, right?
No, I don't think she wants royalties.
Oh, okay.
Does she?
That's
I don't
something
know.
that's interesting as well. Like if somebody clones you or your voice and uses it, is that allowed?
Um, I don't think the legal department is quite up to date with this stuff yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder how that's affecting
Um,
legal things.
you're not supposed to like use their voice to say bad things about the person or like
Mhm.
make them look bad. Right?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have we're gonna have like AI legal teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's actually we're in like the third revolution of the internet or the whatever it's called. I think the internet was second, right?
Internet 3.0.
Mm, no, like I mean, like historical moments
Okay.
in humankind that
Oh.
have progressed humans, like the Industrial Revolution,
Mm-hmm.
then the birth of the internet,
Mm-hmm.
and now I think AI is like the third
Hmm.
wave of
The
crazy
final
advancement.
wave of doom.
Well, Elon Musk just came out with a video on like robots, and it was a little creepy.
Oh God. There's just so many things happening in every direction in tech. It's like every
Yeah,
single day there's mind-blowing new stuff. It's hard to even fathom what it's going to mean for like a year from now, let alone 5 or 10 years. It's
yeah,
kind of cool. It's
exciting.
kind of cool, but it's like
It's
also a little bit
exciting.
scary.
It is scary, but it is exciting.
It is,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, soon, maybe like if we in a few years, it'll be maybe super easy to make an MMO,
Hmm.
for example, and
Hmm.
I'm like, I can bring my dream game to life in like a short amount of time
Yeah.
versus now. So, those prospects are really cool. Not the robots killing us.
No, that part's not so cool.
Yeah, but if it happens, what do we do?
Yeah, that is not much. I mean, maybe we should just be starting to prepare. Maybe that's our responsibility as devs.
I don't want to stress myself
All
out.
right, fine.
Like those people who like hoard things in the supermarket.
Yeah.
I'm like, I buy everything like when I need it. Like I open my fridge and it's empty. I'm like, damn it. And then I go and buy like one paper
Oh,
towel.
really? No, I used to do that, but I'm like, I was getting stressed out from that. I'm like, I need to immediately go to the store now because I don't have the thing I need. So I try to have like a little bit, so that way I'm like, oh, my backups
But
are running out.
that's smart.
Yeah, it's a better life. I should have been doing this a lot sooner.
Well, at least you'll be a little ready, more ready for the
Little, yeah, I'll last an
robotic
extra week when the AI
apocalypse. So
But it's
funny.
also exciting to like start using some of these tools. Like using ChatGPT is so fun. I love using Midjourney. It's so cool. All the stuff it spits out. It's just like cool and pretty to look at.
Midjourney is so pretty. The
Hmm.
Polymars, when we did that challenge, the images he used, I was looking at it when he jump scared. He used like an image for the
Hmm.
jump scare.
Okay.
And I was like, where did you get these images? They look so good.
Yeah.
But like they looked almost 3D
Mm.
and they weren't. It looked like 4K 3D. I was like, he's
Mm.
like, I think he used Midjourney for it.
Yeah, that's cool. I've seen something, but I haven't been able to actually find. Like I saw it on I think a TikTok, and I haven't been able to find the website. But I saw something where there's people who are taking those pictures from Midjourney, and then you can like upscale it beyond what Midjourney does, so it's higher fidelity, and the AI
Mm-hmm.
will make it crisper and like higher resolution, which is even cooler. Like
Yeah.
there's like tools built for the tools that are being built. There's so many layers.
I think maybe Leonardo AI does that. Um,
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I do know they do upscaling, but I don't know if it's on their own images
Cool. I'll check that
only,
out.
or if they can also do like any image, like a. But they're like they started off as like a game assets company, like make game assets, but now I think more people are using it for non-game time,
Huh. I guess
and they got a lot of features in there.
what do they do normally?
Um,
Upscaling in general?
well, no, they do everything. You generate images, you can
Mm.
upscale them, you can uh, do like in painting and out painting, which is like the in painting is like you erase a part and you can like replace it with an
Okay.
AI,
Hmm.
like like
The
the
content aware.
image only on that area, and it like
Right.
makes sure to take the whole context of the image into account. And out
Oh,
painting is the same, but like outside the image, like
okay.
extend the image.
I see.
Um, they do that. They do
Cool.
upscaling. I think they do textures. Yeah, they do textures. They do 3D textures now or something. I don't
Wow,
even
this is
know.
amazing. There's so many tools. It's hard to even keep track of what exists, let alone use them and try them and integrate
Yeah, it's very
them.
overwhelming.
It's cool though. It's really cool. Well, thank you so much for joining today. It's been really fun talking with you.
Yeah, as well. Thanks for having me. Appreciate all the questions.
Yeah, of
And
course. All right. See you later.